In this video, I'm going to take a look at magical Filipinas who disappear into thin air, and it's certainly no magical trick I refer to here. On this channel, in emails and on video calls, I'm constantly chatting with foreign men from all over the globe, who tell me of many stories both good and devastating. This video is more about the latter, where decent foreign guys have connected to a Filipina online and believed that they were in a solid relationship where they were doing everything right, and all of a sudden, the Filipina has magically disappeared and never to be heard from again. These guys are often worried that something has happened to his lovely Filipina, and they panic to try and find out what's happened before they finally realise the truth that devastates them. Now, what I'm about to tell you here should be of great interest to any man who's thinking of dating a Filipina or is in a new relationship with a Filipina. So be sure to buckle up and stay with me here. First of all, I want to paint a typical picture of what happens to these guys prior to the point that the Filipina vanishes into thin air. Like most men looking to date a Filipina, they'll be searching online and they may start chatting to a Filipina either on Facebook groups or free or paid dating sites. These guys are very aware that there are some Filipina scammers out there just looking for money, and so they're very careful not to fall into that trap. As such, they make a firm rule that they'll not send any money to her until they get to know her very well or until after they've met her in person, with the exception of maybe $20 a month to cover her costs in chatting to you. This, of course, is certainly the approach I recommend to ensure that you don't end up a victim of a love scam. So these guys will start to chat to this woman on whatever site they found each other and start to get to know one another a bit more. She may even introduce the guy to her child or children and possibly even other relatives via video chat. All seems very positive, and as time goes by, the man can be falling in love with this woman and can even become attached to her kids. After 3 or 4 months, the man is starting to get very excited by the relationship and starts thinking of longer-term plans with this Filipina to the point of possible marriage. The Filipina also seems rather excited with the prospect of one day being his wife and having a lovely family together. Then one day, the man wakes up all excited for his daily video chat with his Filipina, but she's not there to chat. At first, he just thinks nothing much of it, but as the hours and days tick by, he becomes rather concerned, thinking that something bad may have happened to her. He may try and contact family members or friends, but he gets no answers from them, and in some cases, they may ignore him altogether. After a week or so of no contact from her, he may discover that he can no longer find her Facebook profile and soon realises that he's been blocked. Clearly, she no longer wants to have any contact with the man at all, and he's puzzled as to why. After all, he's treated her well and they were planning a wonderful life together. Quite often, I have the sad job in pointing out the harsh reality to these guys who've come to me in desperation to try and work out what's gone wrong. And yes, it's very sad to see these guys clearly devastated when the penny drops and they finally realise the truth. One must realise that some Filipinas, whether single or married, with or without kids, younger or older, may be looking to get some quick money from a foreign guy or guys. Now, this is no surprise to many of us, as we've all heard the many love scam stories, but the difference here is these Filipinas won't ask for money or even give you heart-wrenching stories in order for you to feel compelled to offer up money. It seems that some of these women are awake to the fact that many guys will run as soon as a guy has a sniff that she may be after his money. So they play it a totally different way. Now remember here that these guys think that they're the only one that she's chatting to, but most likely she will have several, and here's why. She knows that over the days, weeks and months, that 70 to 80% of these guys will be discarded. Simply, she's only looking for the 20% who will offer up money on a regular basis themselves without the Filipina asking or prompting in any way. Now, any man who's doing the right thing and is taking his time to get to know her and hasn't sent any money, then she'll forget him and focus on other men who may be rather fast to offer up money. Simply, she doesn't want the hassle of the man annoying her any longer, and so she blocks all contact with him, whilst not even considering for a second this man's feelings for her and what this has done to him. Now, some may say that the man shouldn't have become so emotionally attached to the Filipina or her kids so quickly, and yes, I tend to agree. And this is often why you'll hear me talking about remaining chatmates until you meet in person and spend a good amount of quality time together. But we also must be compassionate to these guys who have had their heart ripped out from under them. You may end up finding out that many of these women, after searching and investigating, are married with kids. And those kids that the foreign guy has become attached to are in fact her husband's kids, whom she's still in a relationship with. This is another form of what I call a couple scam, which, by the way, I've done videos on, which you can check out by clicking the card on screen. Now, I wish there were a way to detect such a woman who was planning this from the start, but some are very good at what they do, and they can be convincing. One can be very observant and still not pick up any signs she's not genuine, but of course, as I mentioned, your best defense is not to move into a dating relationship until after you meet in person. Now, yes, we're all human, and some guys will fall quickly online for a beautiful Filipina, and they will, as a result, get their heart crushed. But at least they were smart enough not to get scammed out of their hard-earned money. You see, many of these girls or couples place some rules on themselves, and they realise time is money. And if after 3 to 4 months the man hasn't offered any money, then simply they disconnect from him and vanish into thin air without a word of warning. To her, it's a business where she's not emotionally attached, unlike the foreigner. This is why I'm always saying to take much time to get to know her and don't be rushed or rush into being what you consider a dating relationship. Wait several months, get to know her online, go to the Philippines and spend good quality time together, and if all is good, then by all means enter into that dating relationship. Now really, there are many wonderful, genuine Filipinas out there, but foreign guys need to protect themselves as well. By not sending money in those first few months, these scammers do disappear, which is a good thing, because then you know for sure that you've dodged a bullet. If the guy was sending her money from the start, then where would it eventually end before you found out the truth? Like some of these guys who give over tens of thousands of dollars, or even buying her land, a house and a business. I have no doubt that in time, these guys will realise how fortunate they've been and will be wiser for the experience, which will enable them to go about things a little differently in the future. If you've met a Filipina in recent times and you're not real sure if she's genuine or not, then check out my affiliate link in the pinned comment to Love Guardians, who'll certainly give you your answers one way or another. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.